Most people live within an invisible prison, never realizing the walls exist. Society, upbringing, and unconscious surroundings reinforce a rigid perspective, one that only acknowledges the physical world. From birth, awareness is molded by external influences, conditioning the mind to accept a limited reality. The world is seen through a singular lens, a flat and unchanging structure where only what can be touched, measured, or owned is real. Few ever question the deeper layers of existence beyond the five senses. Even fewer recognize the nature of consciousness as a force that transcends these limitations. Moving through dimensions is not a matter of traveling outward, but expanding inward. The mind, when untrained, clings to what it knows, the seen, the material, the definable. Yet beneath the surface, consciousness stretches far beyond what the average person believes possible. Each level of awareness functions like a different perspective of the same painting. A mind locked in one dimension sees only fragmented brushstrokes, while an evolved consciousness steps back and perceives the entire masterpiece. The journey through dimensions begins with an understanding of the lower levels, the states of mind that act as barriers to transcendence. The deeper one understands these dimensions, the easier it becomes to move beyond them. At the lowest point of awareness exists the first dimension, a realm of complete unconsciousness. These are black holes of existence where nothing moves forward and energy is purely absorbed, never created. Individuals at this level lack the ability to perceive beyond their immediate experience. They exist in a state of pure consumption, siphoning energy from those around them. Their presence drains, their eyes void of light. In the natural world, parasitic organisms embody this dimension, feeding off hosts without offering anything in return. The same concept applies in human interactions. Those who dwell in this space lack a center of creation and instead become vacuums, pulling from others to sustain themselves. A step higher, the second dimension is where narcissistic tendencies take root. Consciousness begins to develop, but remains shackled to materialism. Everything is viewed as possession, people, achievements, status, appearance. Identity is built upon external factors, creating a fragile sense of self. Strip away the titles, the wealth, or the relationships, and the foundation collapses. Here, individuals act as hollow reflections, seeing others only in relation to what they can offer or symbolize. The world is a chessboard, where control and validation fuel existence. Those trapped here cannot conceive of life beyond the tangible, and the pursuit of dominance over others becomes the primary objective. Yet even in this state, cracks begin to form. The awareness of suffering, of a deeper longing unfulfilled by possessions, begins the shift toward higher consciousness. As awareness expands, the third dimension emerges, the world of action and identity. No longer purely defined by possessions, consciousness shifts toward achievements. I am what I do becomes the mantra. Productivity, status, and effort shape the self. The illusion here is control, the belief that through constant movement and struggle, success and fulfillment can be obtained. Society thrives in this dimension, encouraging relentless action without introspection. Yet something always feels just out of reach, like chasing a shadow that grows the closer one gets. For many, disillusionment sets in. The realization dawns that despite all effort, happiness remains fleeting. This leads to the fourth dimension, where thoughts and emotions take center stage. Psychology, self-reflection, and personal development become dominant. It is here that individuals uncover past wounds, trauma, and limiting beliefs. The concept of victimhood emerges, the belief that suffering stems from external forces. Many get lost in this maze, overanalyzing every experience, searching for meaning in every emotion. The trap is subtle. The mind, though expanded, remains attached to suffering, unable to release the past. But for those who break through, a new realization emerges. Consciousness is not emotions, thoughts, or identity. It is something beyond. Transcendence begins in the fifth dimension, where detachment from identity and emotion becomes possible. No longer tethered to past experiences or external validation, consciousness shifts to the now. Reality ceases to be a struggle. Creation happens effortlessly. Manifestation is no longer a practice but a natural state. Here, presence is power. The endless cycle of fixing, healing, and seeking fades away, replaced by an innate knowing. All that is needed already exists. There is nothing to fix, nothing to chase, only being. The sixth dimension introduces mastery over reality. Time is no longer a linear path, but a tool that bends to awareness. The external world becomes an extension of internal consciousness. Manifestation accelerates. The rules, once rigid and absolute, dissolve. No external force dictates experience. Only the inner state determines what unfolds. Reality shifts in direct proportion to belief. Energy flows without resistance, and creation moves effortlessly. For the first time, one sees beyond individual existence, recognizing the interwoven fabric of all things. Beyond personal mastery of reality, the seventh dimension emerges as the realm of complete fluidity. Consciousness is no longer bound by a single timeline or rigid identity. Instead, existence takes on the quality of a lucid dream, where reality bends to thought. Awareness shifts effortlessly between possibilities, rewriting experiences in real time. Time is no longer linear, but an interconnected web. Every potential version of the self exists simultaneously. One simply tunes into the desired frequency to embody it. Quantum shifting becomes second nature, and manifestation happens instantaneously. There is no longer an effort to become. Instead, one realizes, I already am. Beyond this mastery, the eighth dimension reveals itself as the infinite library, an endless reservoir of universal knowledge. This dimension holds the Akashic records, a vast energetic archive that contains all thoughts, actions, and events. Knowledge here is not learned but remembered. Beings at this level do not study, they attune. Wisdom flows freely, and insights arrive as downloads. Artists, inventors, and visionaries unconsciously tap into this space, retrieving fully formed ideas that shape the course of history. Genius is not something developed, it is accessed. Throughout time, those who created revolutionary works often described receiving sudden inspiration, as if an unseen force delivered knowledge directly to them. This is the eighth dimension at work. When the mind quiets and resistance dissolves, intelligence flows effortlessly. Seeking becomes unnecessary. All answers exist in the field, waiting to be realized. The ego, which believes effort is required for progress, loses control. Those aligned with this space receive guidance without seeking, effortlessly tapping into the greater intelligence of the cosmos. To exist in this dimension means moving beyond personal identity into universal awareness. Intuition sharpens to its highest degree, and external knowledge becomes obsolete. Thought is replaced by direct understanding, and questions fade as knowing becomes instant. The mind no longer filters reality, it experiences it in its fullness. From here, the journey continues beyond form and into the void, where all creation dissolves back into infinite potential. Beyond creation lies the void, the ninth dimension, the space of pure potential. Every night, sleep brings a return to this dimension, dissolving the illusion of form. Matter and identity vanish. What remains is the absolute, the source from which all creation emerges. The void is both everything and nothing. Paradoxically, it is the most terrifying yet liberating state. Those who embrace it realize the ultimate truth. There is no separation, no other, no struggle, only consciousness itself. To reach this state while awake means complete detachment from all illusions. The game of identity, attachment, and desire dissolves. Pure presence remains. From this space, creation is effortless, instant, absolute. The final realization emerges. There was never anything to transcend, only illusions to release. The journey through dimensions was not a climb but a return to the stillness that has always been home. The dimensions are not places to travel to, they are states of being. The mind perceives them as levels, yet in truth, they exist simultaneously. Ascension is not about reaching something higher, it is about letting go of what is lower. Those who grasp this live in full awareness, effortlessly creating reality, free from resistance. The question is not how far one can go, but how much one is willing to release. The answer has always been the same. Everything is already here,